Alright, what's up, yins, guys? I'm gonna do a video today, talk a little bit about anime. I know a lot of you people, some of you people subscribe to me, or even commented on my channel, or any people that I've happened upon, and any of you people whose channels I've happened upon and saw cool stuff. Also, I want to talk about anime a little bit. It's been overdue to do a video about this, and I wanted to talk about a couple of things. And one thing I want to talk about, the people my age that are looking at some of you people like with the anime, and I'm going to talk about some of the anime I've seen on Adult Swim. You know, I got into all kind of I named my channel after one of my favorite animes. Oh, because it's the only name I can think of in my head to call myself right now, but the Cowboy Bebop thing. But somebody my age, I wanted to share with you a couple of things that some yins guys around my age or older probably know a couple of these older cartoons that before you guys, some of you younger guys had, some of you younger kids, dudes or chicks, before you guys had anime. I want to talk about this older stuff that you guys wouldn't remember. You have to be 40-year-old or older curmudgeons like maybe me and some other people watching to even hear of some of these cartoons. But that's one of the things close to anime is, I remember when I was a young kid, wasn't even a teenager yet, probably about 10 years old, the kind of anime we had was called a cartoon called Battle of the Planets. I think it might have been created around the same time as the original Speed Racer cartoon, which, yes, a lot of people watching, if any of you guys watching my age or older, probably remember the original Speed Racer cartoon. But I think around the same ballpark time, there was the sci-fi cartoon that was kind of like this anime that you younger kids watch now. It was called Battle of the Planets. That was one of the cartoons you watch. You know, in fact, I'm gonna go on YouTube a little bit and see if somehow anybody, I don't know if they issued that in DVD, if anybody or any way anybody put any stuff from the cartoon Battle of the Planets on YouTube. Ought to do some internet research about that, or if you guys want to go ahead and do it. But yeah, I liked that cartoon when I was a kid, and then as I got older in the mid 80s, there was Robotech, and let's see what else, along with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. There was remember the Thundercats? Yeah, there was Robotech and Voltron. You remember any of you guys around my age, or maybe a tiny bit younger, or a little bit older, around my age range, a little older, you can be a little younger, you guys remember Voltron? There were a couple different okay, there was some episodes of Voltron where Voltron was each of the Voltron Force that actually got together and formed Voltron. They were these robotic lions that each of them piloted, and then they were able to form Voltron, and one big super robot that kicked butt or whatever. But then they had some episodes of Voltron where instead of that, Voltron was formed with separate vehicles, the land, air, and sea teams. You know, boats, submarines, land, land vehicles, land team, air, land, and sea. They were able to, go separately in their flying ships, their explore the sea and then the land. But then they were able to form Voltron and kick the crap out of beat the living crap out of the bad guy. But anyway, okay, what was I trying to get at here? Okay, I remember, something funny that I wanted to share along with that too. Like, it involved anyway, they probably had two different ideas on how to design Voltron and all that, whether it was a bunch of vehicles or these robotic lions, and I guess they were using them both at the time, you know what I mean? But the one thing I wanted to share concerning the Voltron with the robotic lions, there was a evil prince, I forget what the heck his name is. And one of the funniest things during, when Voltron was real popular, I think I was with my parents at a church one time, for some reason, some church service or some long time ago, and how people stand up and do prayer and pray for things and different things about the world, or about so-and-so's relative being sick, pray for me. And nothing against anybody that's a Christian for the right reasons or whatever, but this, every time I think about Voltron, I think about this. This was hilarious in a way that this woman went too far. That's why I had that big brain fart just a couple minutes ago while I'm doing this video. I'm almost trying not to laugh because I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but I just gotta say this. During when Voltron was popular, I was in a church service a long time ago. The parents, when I was younger, everybody wanting prayer requests for whatever else. This woman stands up, for prayer requests, and she's wants to inform everybody and pray about it at a really bad thing about the kids' cartoon. This cartoon called Voltron, and she was talking about how the one prince had villain, because of course he's a villain in the cartoon, and that's the way villains are. In the cartoon, the other people that were following the villain, sorry, my fault. The people that were following the villain, because it was a cartoon, they were hailing the villain as King of Kings and Lord of Lords, or whatever the heck. I don't know if she was exaggerating it or whatever the heck, but I remember in the cartoon he was hailed as the king, he ruled, he's the man, and stuff like that, but I don't remember him saying anything like King of Kings or Lord of Lords. But she was doing all this talking like for attention about it, and she was, I kid you not, she was sobbing and crying while she was saying this. She was going, "Oh yeah, there's this guy with this cartoon called the Voltron, and our kids are watching this, and he's a villain, and he's wearing this cape, and the people in the cartoon are saying King of Kings and Lord of Lords. This is so terrible because we're supposed to be worshiping God." And like that, you know what I mean? And I'm like, come on now, it's just a cartoon, And hell, shoot, we talk about like the ruler or king of North Korea, and then the dead communist people that people have idols and worshipping now, that they're actually literally building monuments to in other countries, that Che Guevara, and people are hailing him like he's some kind of god or deifying him, and they're making statues of him in places, you know what I mean? We just laugh about it, you know what I mean, and shake our heads, because in America we don't deify, well, most of us Americans don't deify communist leaders like Che Guevara and that, but so some people do now, because academia is teaching them. But I just wanted to say that was kind of funny. That was back then, that's why I had that long plus why I kind of slipped earlier in the video and said victim instead of villain, because I guess in my subconscious it was talking about somebody evidently was being a victim when this woman was talking about that. But we had a lot of different interesting cartoons back when we were young kids and all that stuff too. How they're making movies now with we had G.I. Joe, the original G.I. Joe, and Yeah, they made a couple of G.I. Joe movies now. You know what? I never actually got to see either one of them yet, the G.I. Joe movies, and I never actually watched the Speed Racer movie yet, or either of the Transformers movies. It's a couple of things I never got around to doing yet, but yeah, we had the original G.I. Joe, we had the Transformers, the GoBots, we had Robotech, and like I said, the oldest, way older, if any of you guys remember, any of you guys in my age group are old to remember Battle of the Planets. It was a real old cartoon. And, well, even though I wouldn't category it at the same time with some of the cartoons I'm talking about, I might as well bring up the original Inspector Gadget. Yeah, with the original Inspector Gadget, that the guy, remember the guy that played Maxwell Smart? He did the voice from that. His name is something Adams. Well, any of you got younger people probably don't remember the old show Get Smart unless you follow classic television shows. But yeah, before that movie Inspector Gadget came out a decade or so ago, with what's his name playing it, which I never even watched that one either. I don't know. I just never got around to it, but. Yeah, the original Inspector Gadget, but the guy that did his voice was the guy that played Maxwell Smart in Get Smart, you know. But yeah, we had a lot of pretty cool cartoons back in our days. And yeah, I watched the newer anime, you know, Cowboy Bebop, you know, the late night. I got introduced to anime when I kind of got unemployed for a while and was going to college full time, you know, because I wasn't finding employment. So I went to college for a couple of years full time, and I was staying up late at night, you know, watched Adult Swim, you know, and try to do the schoolwork or whatever I was trying to do. And you know, there's some of the other younger people, you know, they were watching Adult Swim. They were always watching that Hunger Force, and I got in this. One of my favorites. I wound up watching Cartoon Network and you know, flicking through channels, and I found Cowboy Bebop got to be one of my favorites. Then Full Metal Alchemist, which I have a friend on YouTube that says hi to me every once in a while, into Full Metal Alchemist. That gets a lot of ideas going in my head too about it would be nice to make, you know, people lose an arm or a leg and make new arms and legs and stuff like that. But yeah, Witch Hunter Robin. Yeah, I used to follow Witch Hunter Robin, and yep, Cowboy Bebop, Witch Hunter Robin, and Hunger Force, the Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Yeah, Shake Zula, the Mind Cooler. Meatwad makes the monies. See, Meatwad gets the honeys. G, driving in my car, living like a star, and all that. And let's see. Yeah, some of the Adult Swim stuff was good, but Cowboy Bebop still was one of my favorites. Full Metal Alchemist, okay. But yeah, a lot of pretty cool stuff out there, you know. The newer anime is actually pretty cool, but yeah, I think that's about all I got to say on the anime thing and the cartoon thing. I figured I'd throw a few things in about cartoons at you there, and I think that's about it. I think I ran out of things to say in that matter. I think I summed everything up. Oh, I do remember, though, on Saturday mornings we had the Tarzan, the Lone Ranger, and Zorro all in cartoons on Saturday morning. The cartoon Tarzan, Lone Ranger, and Zorro. And yeah, and we had the original, the cartoons like the Hulk and Spider-Man from Marvel Comics and all that. And yeah, the originals, man, the real old classic ones. But anyway, that's it for this video. It's my 15